Hello, this is a video on how to play the card game Manillen. And so you might also hear the game be called Manillen or Manillen. Um, and so those are essentially referring to the same game. So typically Manillen or Manillen is a four-player game, but we'll be going over the two-player variation. Now, there is no large difference between the two and four-player variation. The only difference is that the difference in the dealing of cards. The rules for making trump, playing, and scoring are exactly the same as in the four-player version. So, if you are looking to play the four-player version, simply watch this video and apply those same rules to the four-player version, just dealing the cards differently. Other than that, everything else is the same. So, let us get into it. It's not too difficult of a game, and so the scoring is a bit unarbitrary, but other than that, it is quite simple. And so, what you basically have to do is um, gather a 32 card deck, 8 of each suit. So that is your 7, 8, 9, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, and 10. The 2 through the 6 is discarded. Each card has a specific value. So your 7, 8s, and 9s are worth 0 points. Your Jacks are worth 1 point. Your Queens are worth 2 points. Kings are worth 3 points. Aces are worth 4 points. And 10s are worth 5 points. Now, each player has 8 cards in their hand and 8 cards lying in front of them on the table. Right, so 8 cards here in the hand, and then 4 cards on my side, 4 on my opponent's, for a total of 8 cards lying in front on the table. These 4 cards, or sorry, these 8 cards lying in front on the table, are divided into, I guess, 4 piles here, right? And so every card is essentially dealt out right now, right? 8, 16, 20, and then 24. So you'll have 8 additional cards. So you'll form 4 piles of 2 cards each. It is up to the dealer to pick one of the 4 suits as trump at the start of each new round. In this case, I was the dealer, right? The dealer is the player who deals the cards to every player. And so what I'll do is I'll just do my best to pick a trump that is advantageous to me. I have 3 diamonds here, and I also have 3 spades. My diamond cards are slightly higher valued than my spades, so I'm going to pick diamonds as my trump. Okay. Note that you saw a little ×2 with a, I guess, no sign on it. That means playing without trump. If you choose to play without trump, the points for that for the winner in that round will be doubled. The opponent can decide to tap against the chosen trump. In that case, the points for the winner in that round will be doubled. Again, so you can quadruple the points if there's no trump, right? Even if there is a trump, you can tap against the chosen trump, and so the points for the winner in that round get doubled. If there is no trump, you can tap, right? And since no trump already has a double value, the points for the winner of that round will get quadrupled, right? So that's so far pretty simple. The objective of the game is to be the first player to collect 101 points or more. Only the points in the tricks are important, not the number of tricks taken. You can win a game with fewer tricks than your opponent if there are more points in them. So, The player to the dealer's left leads the first trick. They can play any card. Each trick is won by standard trick-taking rules. And so, if you can follow the lead suit, you must. The player who wins the trick is the player who played the highest ranking card in the lead suit. If you cannot follow the lead suit, you can play a card in any suit. The winner of the trick is the player who has the highest ranking trump card or the highest ranking card in the lead suit. So, there are a couple of additional restrictions on playing 4 tricks, right? And so, when following suit, you must play a higher card than your opponent's winning card if possible. If you are unable to follow suit, you must play trump if possible. If you have no trumps and no cards of the lead suit, you may play any card. So, essentially, you are forced to try your best. Notice how I cannot play this 8 of clubs. So you are forced to try your best to win the trick. However, that is an additional restriction that you could choose not to play with. Sometimes, I know, at least for me, in many card games, as a universal rule, it is not always beneficial to try to win every single trick. Sometimes it is beneficial to strategically lose tricks. And so if you want to go do that, by all means, go ahead. It does not impact the gameplay much. And I feel that it's easier because it uses the general trick-taking rules used for almost every game, if not 99% of games, right? And so now, I mean, it's literally that simple, right? You just play and you win tricks like so. So we'll continue playing until all 8 tricks have been played. So I'll have to play my diamond here, right? Do note that I can play cards from either my hand over here or my hand down here. So now what I'll do is I know that diamonds are trump. So I want to try to save my diamonds. I know that each jack is worth 1 point. I'll try to get rid of my 7s. This is because it is and now I have to follow lead suit. This is because it is not really that beneficial for me to try to win every single trick. So I know that my 10 of diamonds will help me win, right? Because the 10 is ranked higher than the jack in this game. Right? 10 is the Manillen. All other cards are ranked from ace to 7 in the regular configuration, but 10 is higher than everything else. It is the Manillen. It is the exception. Now, now, what we have here is a set of cards here. Now, we have the ability to lead, right? I know he has a club. So I know that my opponent must play club. So I'm okay to go ahead and play that 10. So similarly, I know my opponent has a spade. So I can go ahead and play that 10 as well. Right? Now, what are my other high value cards? I could play my ace of diamonds. I know my opponent has a king of diamonds. I don't know if my opponent will play it, and my opponent did. So that is even more points for me. Right? Remember, 10s are worth 5, aces are worth 4, kings are worth 3, queens are worth 2, jacks are worth 1, and each 9, 8, and 7 is worth 0. Now, what we'll do here is we'll look at our king of spades. We don't know if they have a spade, right? And so I'm just talking about my strategy. This has nothing to do with the rules of the game, right? The rules of the game are simple. You deal 8, 4 to each player, and then, or sorry, excuse me, 8 and then 8 again to each player, right? In 4 piles for the second set of 8. And you want to play all 8 tricks, right? And so um, in this case, since we're playing with 2 players, it's actually not 8 tricks. 8 tricks would be if you were playing with 4 players. Since we're playing with 2 players, it is 16 tricks each, and so we play until we, I guess, play all 16 tricks. Now we have our jack here, and so, excuse me, we know that my opponent has a jack of clubs. Let us just look at what card we want to play. I'm judging that my opponent... Okay, so my opponent does not have a spade. That's beneficial for me, right? So I can continue winning tricks like so. My opponent does not have any spades. Do note that the cards under these top cards cannot be revealed until you play the top cards. So my opponent has a club. What I'll do is I'll give my opponent the 7 of clubs. He'll go ahead and play the ace. He'll then play the ace of hearts. I have to play a heart because I have one. So let's give that to my opponent. He then has a king of clubs. We'll play that club there. He then has an ace of... he has a queen of clubs. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and take that with a... Then we'll play an ace of spades. That'll force him to play his 10 of hearts. He cannot play a trump, so that allows us to take that, right? If I played that 9 of hearts, he would have won that trick. He would have played the 10, right? Because the lead suit wins if a trump suit is not played. So you want to do your best to lead as many tricks as you can. So let's look at the scoring. Each player is assigned a score equal to the total card value of all won tricks. When we're playing with 2 players, we don't use the scoring of the cards to score points. What we do is we look at the scoring, and so we know that in terms of the card values, right, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or our valued cards there are 10, ace, king, queen, jack. But that's just for determining who wins the round. That's not for determining the score. And so even though I took more than 10 in card score, in terms of game score, I only scored 10. This is because the player with a score of more than 30 wins the round. The winner collects as many points as their score minus 30. For example, if I win the round with a score of 40, 40 minus 30 is 10, I collect 10 points. If I win the round with a score of 2, with a score of 32, 32 minus 30 is 2, therefore I collect 2 points. The game ends when one of the players has collected more than 101 points in total. So it's pretty simple. And honestly, I do not know if it is beneficial for me, but since these rounds are quite quick, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and play a speeded round with no commentary, just so you can sort of get a really good understanding of how to play. So I can choose to tap if I think my hand is good. I don't have many clubs, so I'm not going to tap. My turn to lead the first suit. And so what I'm going to do here is I know that he has a diamond, and so he must play the diamond. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll play my ace of diamonds. I know he has a but he had the 10 of diamonds, and so unbeknownst to me, that was quite a smart move. So the 9 of spades was played. I don't have any interest in taking that, and so I will play my jack of spades. I will go ahead and play my jack of spades because that will allow me to take. I'll then play my 8 of spades, taking that as well. Now, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and play my queen of spades. He played the 9 of clubs, taking that. Now he played the jack of clubs. Okay, what I'll do here is I'll look and I'll say, okay, I have to play a club. I'll go ahead and I'll play, sorry, And in this case, we have that restriction where you have to do your best to win a trick. In my eyes, right, you should not play with that restriction where you have to win a trick no matter what, right? Because in my eyes, even though I am pretty bad at card games, it would have been more strategic to lose this trick and keep the strongest trump card, which is the 10 of clubs. However, we are forced to play the 10 of clubs there and take that trick. Now, we know that he has a king of diamonds. What I'll do is, I know that he has a heart, so he has to play a heart. What I'll do is I'll play my 10. I also know he has another heart, that jack there, and so he actually took it with the ace. And so now he played the ace of clubs, I'll play my club there. So this is quite neck and neck. I'll play my 9 of diamonds. That trick has no value, right? Once again, we'll play our queen. We can take that jack as well. We know that he has a king. I don't know if he has a spade, but even if he doesn't, he's going to go ahead and play a club. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and play this 7. That's extremely beneficial. I don't have a club, and that's fine. What I'll do is I'll play this 8 of hearts. Or 8 of diamonds. Play the queen of diamonds. I have to play the jack of diamonds here. That's unfortunate. Now, I don't have a diamond, so that's okay. Play the king of clubs. The king is worth less than the ace, so I'll give him that. But it does not matter in this case. My opponent has most definitely won the round. So that means my opponent scored 45 points. Because 45 minus 30 is 15. You subtract 30 and that is what you score. Well, that is for the 2-player variant. Let's say you were playing with 4 players. You would still subtract your score from 30, because in 4 players you are playing with teams, right? And so each team can still only take a maximum of 30 points. The number of cards in a 32 card deck does not change, and so the number of points stays consistent no matter how many players you are playing with. And so that wraps up how to play Manillen or Manillen. It's quite a simple game, honestly, and that's good, right? Because simple games are easy to understand, they're fun, and they don't have a large skill gap. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.